Okay, Luke chapter 10 again, after these things. We've taken a look already at the passage that went before in chapter 9 and some of the challenges the disciples were really bringing into Christ's life. And Jesus narrows the road. See that sign there behind me as I'm going on up this hill here. Again, I'm riding today and got out a little further than I did the other day, but hoping to make it all the way out before I get finished. But Jesus said there in chapter 10 and verse 1, it says, after these things, Jesus then appointed other 70 also. Christ still has a job to be done, but the road's going to narrow as he goes forward. You and I are going to learn some great lessons here in chapter number 10, verse number 1. We see that Jesus is always about his business, and he wants his disciples to always be about his business. We've got a world to be reached. And the further out you get from the shores of the U.S., the more the road narrows. The less the disciples are found around our world, and the more the need is for folks to be going and taking the gospel. Now, let me just quickly say, that doesn't mean that everybody in America has been reached. My soul, far from it. In fact, most Christians are sitting on their hands and, oh boy, I don't know how people do it, but sitting on their feet as well. Pardon me, the flies are bothering me out here, and so I'm trying to shoo a few of them away as I go. And that's just the way it is. As you go out and do the work, you're always going to have some insects along the way to cause a few problems. But let me tell you, when God goes to work, it's just a grand thing. And so he sent them out two by two. And I think there's certainly a principle there. But whether there's another to go with you or not, we're going to see here eventually in another passage where we can find workers to go with us if nobody else will go along. Now, I'll encourage you with that when we get that far. But right now, he takes those two by two, and he sends them out into every city and place. Now, cities are where the people congregate, and you and I'd love to go to the cities because there's so many more people to be reached there and much quicker to be able to find them. But the place is just a wide spot in the road where maybe you've got one house, two houses gathered together, and just a few people that live inside. They need to be reached as well. But now watch this. He sent them to those cities and those places where he himself would go. He wants us to be forerunners like John the Baptist, going where Jesus is going to go, heading out to where he wants to come. We're like the front men, if you will. Boy, I don't know if you can see all that dirt flying my way. My mouth's getting full. Let me end this real quick before I drown in dirt, all right? But I do live in the desert, so I have to expect a little of that from time to time. He sent them whither he himself would go. He wanted them out and going to prepare the way by reaching people that would be open to the gospel, and in turn, when he came by, they could be saved and become his disciples as well. Friend, that's what our job's all about. Not just going out and racking up numbers and names and saying we reached a bunch of people, but turning people into disciples who themselves would become followers of Jesus Christ as well. My friend, this is a powerful chapter. I hope you'll hang on, and I'll talk to you a little later about it. But there's so much more here for us. God bless you.